culture can fork off. So today I'm doing a Q&A episode. So my Misfit group has just started, so we haven't got as many questions yet. I asked for those at the end of the first week, but I do have a couple of things that have come up in the group chat already, and a couple of questions from our one-to-one clients which I would like to share on this podcast as well. So each week I did a podcast with questions that come up from the group, as well as covering some things that come up in the conversations, because there's lots of conversations going on in the group right now. So I'm going to pick a few each week to cover on this podcast for my clients that are in the group, but also for everyone else to have a listen and get some tips and suggestions, because this is the kind of stuff that comes up in real life when you are trying to unfuck your diet and your relationship with food and your relationship with your body. So let's dive straight in. One of my clients has a very busy life. She struggles with finding, I guess, balance with finding foods for the family, basically. Like, everyone has different tastes, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate with that. So she has been struggling to find some stuff, I guess stuff is the right word, breakfast that for her kids, basically protein breakfast for picky kids. So there's a couple of things that you can do here. I would say, you can make it fun. There's lots of like overnight oats or overnight kind of yogurty recipes that can be really, really beneficial for kids, especially if they've got a sweet tooth, because you can add a little bit of like Biscoff and stuff in there as well, can't you? That obviously you don't want them just to have loads of sugar before going to school or something, but also just making sure like it is more appealing, especially if they're struggling to eat as it is. So smoothies is another one. Like I suppose you already know I talk about smoothies a lot in here, but smoothies is one of my favourite things, and that having a smoothie, again, that can be quite appealing to kids, and it's a great way to get fruit in if they're picky too. And that these are breakfasts that you can all have together, and you can make all in one as well, so you're not thinking about how I've got to do everything separately, because no one has time for that. So another thing is, like, I don't know how to describe them, like egg muffins, guess. So you make up like a mixture of like a scrambled egg kind of mixture, but you can add spinach, I don't know, like bits of tomato, bits of ham, whatever your taste is. Think of it like an omelette mix is probably the best way to do it, and you fill that up in little muffin trays or cupcake trays, and you cook those, and they're like little egg muffins, really good protein. You're getting some vegetables in there as well, and then I used to make those up and reheat them, or you can have them cold as well. So, and I used to love it with a bit of chili sauce. So I now have just smoothies. So at the moment, so that's great. That's great to do if it's like weekend and stuff as well. If you've got a bit more time, doing things like banana pancakes. So mashing up like banana to make a pancake. I can't remember the recipe off the top of my head, but that's something I used to do. If you put in banana pancakes into like Google banana pancake recipe, it will come up. But it used to be like, if you have that banana pancake and then with a dollop of like yogurt or something, like a skyr yogurt or Greek yogurt that's higher in protein, that's a great way to do it as well. Put some berries on top, you're all good. So like, make it a little bit exciting. Like, think about what they like, and actually what could be, I guess, exciting for them, like colourful things that they like, things that are easy. I know some kids, they speak like funny with texture, so working it out. That's why smoothies can be really good, because the texture's usually pretty fine on those things. So yes, that's that suggestion there is always good. And like, obviously just like scrambled egg on toast and things like that's always yummy as well. A few tomatoes on the side if you like tomatoes. It's all good, but that takes a bit more time. So like, the things that I would say, smoothies for quickness, smoothies, overnight oats, or like those egg muffins that I talk about as well, because you can pre-make those and have them in the morning as well. So those are probably the things that are probably the quickest. So that brings me on to actually a question that came up in the group chat, which was about finding protein powders. And obviously there's a lot of different things out there. And what was I going to say? So we're going to look at, protein powders. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Like something happened, I heard a noise. I was like, what's that? It doesn't take a lot. So yeah, it came up in the group chat, protein powders. So some people have like obviously different tastes, different dietary requirements. If some people are like, okay, like you, like for example, like honestly, I've got a thing about texture when it comes to protein powders. So what I always suggest as well is really good idea is to try little trial packs, like, you know, you can get the little sample packs of a few that you like, because I know the person that asked this question had a reaction to dairy. So things like whey, which is the most common form that we see, wouldn't be great. But I know from working with other clients that the plant-based protein powders vary in texture and taste. So yes, it can be a bit of a nightmare to try and find different ones that suit you. And I know there's some good brands out there. I have Process, which I find are really good for texture, though I have not tried their plant-based versions yet. But my suggestion to people is always get little sample sizes and try some samples. Most places do little sample boxes, sample things that you can do. Or even if you go to a local supplement shop, and some of them do like a scoop or little sample packs as well. Because the last thing you want to do is spend like 40, 50 quid on a box of protein that you absolutely hate. So recommend just getting some little samples, trying some out, and different brands will have different, different tastes and different textures as well. I cannot like go for the cheap brands on Amazon because it's the texture, it's all too powdery and icky and like sticks to my mouth or something. I don't know, it was horrible. So that's why I have Process at the moment, and I used to have My Protein because I found their textures good. So this last question that I'm going to go through today is an amazing question that I love to talk about as well. Is how do I get through my luteal phase without losing sight of my goal? So first of all, when it comes to our cycles, it's understanding that there's not like a set of instructions, if that makes sense. Like I see so many coaches, usually men, but we'll go into that, talking about training to your cycle, and that you will feel like this on this time of your cycle, and this is how you should train, or this is what you should do. Not every woman feels the same at different points in their cycle. So it's figuring out, first of all, when you come to that phase, in this case like the luteal phase, what is it that you struggle with? Is it for some people really bad like motivation, tiredness, maybe it's aches, maybe it's mental well-being, feeling really low. But what is it that is like, what is it that you are like, how you feel? Okay, and then understanding, right, okay, if I'm feeling this way, this is not the time that like I try to push it in the gym, for example, or it's I just maintain. Maybe it's like going to your, we talk about the options, like your plan A, plan B, plan C. Maybe it's doing your plan C on this phase. Maybe it's making sure you don't like do things like step on the scales in this time if you know that it affects your mindset and your mood. So think about like what you can do to maintain, and knowing that this phase is about maintaining rather than about pushing forward, because that's okay. But maintenance doesn't have to be like, I guess, what am I trying to say? Like going to the gym perfectly, pushing for PBs, or like you can still get towards your goal by allowing yourself a little bit of that, like giving yourself some kindness during that week. Like maybe it's like, this is the week that I look after more of my self-care. Because I always talk about like, when it comes to our health and fitness, I think a lot of people focus on obviously the food and obviously the exercise, but what we forget about that it's emotional and mental health as well. So maybe when it comes to this phase, that you refocus a little bit more on that side of things rather than the food and the exercise. Obviously, you don't want to just let everything go out the window and forget everything that we've been talking about, but making sure you've got your nutritional foundations in there, making sure you're going to your like plan C if you need to, but then thinking about, okay, in this phase, my headspace is better suited to self-care, or it's better suited to working through maybe not some of the heavier mindset stuff, but maybe it's like working on some of the like nighttime routines, or maybe getting my morning routine in place. Like, just because you may not feel up to a lot of things or struggling with certain things, it means that you just reshift the focus onto another area. Okay, so that means you're still working towards your goal, but you're just looking at it in a different way. Because to get that sustainable change and that sustainable lifestyle change, like the luteal phase is going to be part of that. So rather than stuck in a cycle of like hitting the fuck it button or whatever happens during that luteal phase, it's just thinking like, actually, this is what I need. And this is what I need to do for myself at the moment, to stop you thinking that you're letting yourself down, to stop you beating yourself up, that actually you couldn't get all your workouts in, or you could only like, you have to drop the weights down, or whatever it may be. But like, no, that's what I need in this phase. And that's okay, because I'm keeping up consistency and that still gets me towards my goals. So bigger picture thinking, just because this like week or few days or however long it is, it's not going to affect your progress unless you keep giving up on that phase. Think about how to reshift the focus. So that's I love that kind of conversation, because we have to have that bigger picture thinking. Now, obviously, I've just started the new Misfit group, and I cannot wait to share more of the questions that come up with that. But in the meantime, if you're listening to this, you're like, I'm interested in some coaching, then check out in the show notes, I put the link in to have a read. The waitlist is now open for the next round, which will probably be September, but I haven't quite decided yet. And I will speak to you very soon. See you on the next one.